Children are gullible, but since they're starting out in life, we'll give them a free pass. TV doesn't lie, contrary to the tweets of a certain Tangerine POTUS. Hashtag sad. But in the real world, no citrus-tinted children clock hours in front of screens absorbing loads of seemingly innocuous content. Good and bad, Disney's movies, aka most parents' go-to babysitter, has been influencing young minds since 1923. Has Disney been giving kids the wrong impression about role models? Check out 10 Disney characters that give kids the wrong idea. Enjoy this video and be sure to subscribe to CBR and join our notification squad to stay up to date with all of our latest videos. Belle, the Beauty and the Beast. Being a prisoner of love sounds romantic. Being a prisoner, period, not so much. In The Beauty and the Beast, Belle offers herself to be the melodramatic monster's captive in exchange for her father's freedom. As the Beast becomes enamored by her, Belle books a ticket to Sweden. Stockholm, that is. Stockholm Syndrome is something that happens when a hostage and his or her captor fall in love. Aw, so sweet. Beast tries to woo her with his many books and mansion, but this temperamental animal often flies into fits of rage. Nothing like a little verbal intimidation to keep your captive sweetheart in line, but he's just misunderstood. I guess he was angry this whole time because he was a real hunk underneath all that fur. It works out as per usual, but the message of captive love is a little dated and or weird. Cinderella. Don't be so slack. Sure, you're the prettiest girl in town and all your sisters hate you for it, but you're humble, pure of heart, and you love to clean and sing. You're a keeper, and your prince will find you. All that you need to do is patiently wait. It's a sure thing, baby. Cinderella is a passive character in her own story. Her yard critter friends make her gown later shredded by her vindictive sisters. Her fairy godmother transforms a pumpkin into a carriage and courtesy gown fit with glass heels.
She's such a beautiful dress.
The prince chooses her at his kingdom-wide marriage raffle and ice cream social. Caught up in the pageantry, Cinderella hears the clock chime midnight. She flees before transforming into a peasant, but leaves a glass slipper. Throughout the story, it seemed that all Cinderella had to do was maintain a pulse. Elsa Frozen. Elsa is an ice queen with a heart. She has destructive powers that once injured her sister Anna in their childhood. Since then, Elsa barricaded herself in her room for the sake of public safety. Elsa sheepishly emerges from her coronation and Prince Hans proposes to Anna. Elsa loses it again and unleashes her powers. The Duke of Weselton brands her a monster, forcing Elsa to flee. But is Elsa anorexic? Elsa's self-imposed seclusion mirrors feelings of many young women with eating disorders fixating on control and perfection. We don't see Elsa eat, but Anna eats chocolate. Also, many women with eating disorders have claimed that the song Let It Go has had a cathartic effect on them. Is Elsa's ice castle rehab? Somebody get her a sandwich. Aladdin. It may be barbaric, but it's home, is a gleeful line in the opening song of Disney's 1992 release, Aladdin, one of the many dubious depictions of Arab folks in film history. Aladdin is a poor beggar who must steal to survive, but stumbles upon the lamp. The genie grants his wish to be a prince to be closer to Jasmine. However, his transformation is kinda like Michael Jackson's. Despite already having Western features, no missing teeth, a smooth accent, a small nose, and no beard, he still looks different. Other cultural gaffes include Aladdin's escape from the hitman, while we see depictions of Indian culture in the street. Oversight much? Or the vendor who threatens to chop off Jasmine's hand for stealing the fruit she gave to the beggar child. Middle Eastern communities help the poor and homeless, so this wouldn't have happened. The Crows Dumbo. The racial divide in America is more narrow today, but in 1941 things weren't so equal. Nor did they attempt to even hide this sentiment. In Disney's Dumbo, the pachyderm protagonist befriends many diverse characters. The Crows turn out to be the most helpful of the bunch. This characterization of African Americans of the day had them jive-talking and acting carefree.
Well, hush my beat!
Singing and dancing. Heck, one of the Crows' names is Jim Crow. Like the segregation laws common in the US at the time, perhaps Disney's intent was benevolent since the Crows were shown in such a positive light. But all the same, their depiction did not help to reinforce racial stereotypes. Oh yeah, and check out the lyrics to Song of the Roostablouts. No way you could get away with these depictions today, thankfully. Pocahontas and John Smith. Pocahontas is laden with factual liberties that might mislead kids. Pocahontas and John Smith did meet 400 years ago, but she was 10 and John Smith was 27. May-December relationship. Her actual name was Amonute, but reportedly her nickname was Pocahontas. The playful one. Disney slid her age way up for the romantic angle. Nonetheless, the two did establish a friendship according to the written account of her life. Most glaring, however, is how they rewrote history. The English have a change of heart about decimating the American natives, and an unbelievable happy ending comes right out of left field. That's not what happened. Manifest destiny resulted in the death of 90% of the native population. I guess there are alternative facts. The elderly. Disney movies. The Golden Years sounds like a lousy consolation prize for all the aches, pains, and failing eyesight that comes with old age. Down through history, many cultures have put the elderly on a pedestal, made them oracles even. Yet Disney persists in giving the aged a bad rap. A large percentage of villains or less desirable characters are old as dirt. Studies have shown Cinderella's wicked stepmother, Cruella de Vil, and the Mad Hatter to have reinforced negative stereotypes in children. Although I gotta say, Cruella's pretty funky for an old queen. Grumpy is a crotchety pain in the ass, and Dopey, Alzheimer's maybe? But even if Disney gives the elderly a reboot today, children will still watch the old classics. The end is near. Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Ariel, girl, you played yourself. You fell for a landlubber named Eric, and there's no reason to lose your head, or your tail, or your voice. Why couldn't you marry that nice shark next door? Or a pufferfish? They're good kissers. Nah. So Ariel makes her deal with Ursula the Sea Witch. She pawns her voice for feet and marches off to snag her man. Ursula tries to block their romance because in 3 days she'll become a mermaid again, if she and Eric don't make out. And Ursula gets to keep her voice. Of course, things work out as Ariel becomes a woman and sails off with her sweetheart. Happily ever after. But young girls might get the impression that it's okay to pawn off parts of themselves for a dude. Seriously, give the pufferfish a chance. I can get you his number. The Princess. The Princess and the Frog. I don't care how desperate you are, stick to your own species. I don't understand how anyone could touch lips to a frog, even if it's frog legs in an expensive French restaurant. The princess in the film definitely goes there, but instead of Prince Naveen, she would be locking lips with her new squeeze named Sal. Salmonella. Kissing frogs can make you really sick. In fact, this love sickness is more common than you would think. It's reported that roughly 50 young girls as of 2010 were hospitalized for necking with the horny fellas. But who knows what the numbers are now? According to the Center for Disease Control, more than 7,000 people a year get sick from handling reptiles. Bob and Helen, the Incredibles. Grinding through the banality of normal life during a midlife crisis, especially when you were once extraordinary, would suck. I bet Bob Incredible listens to a lot of Springsteen now, alone in his car. Mirage invites Bob to Syndrome's Island and thereby relieves him of his glory days. Helen suspects that Mirage and Bob are having an affair, and maybe for good reason. Their marriage is stale and there is sexual tension between Mirage and Bob. Helen's fears are later allayed by Bob. After Helen sees the two embrace, Bob explains he's totally innocent, but it's not inconceivable that he didn't cheat on Helen. Their romantic lava-lit dinner, Mirage thinking Bob is single, the flirting, and the blonde hair on Bob's suit jacket. Maybe Helen was too flexible in taking Bob back. Like it or lump it, Disney's built an empire and influenced how young viewers look at body issues, sacrifice, flawed historical messages, and race. But Disney's also done a great job at entertaining us for nearly a century. If Disney's influence has had a negative effect on kids over the years, then here's to the next generation of classics that are more progressive. Or honest, at least. Can you think of any other role models that missed the mark? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR and join the notification squad to stay up to date on all our new stuff. Thanks for watching.